You may ask yourself, why is Denmark hosting this event 3GF? And the answer is very clear, because we think it's to the benefit of Denmark, of the climate, and of all the green enterprises and countries of the world. The basic idea of 3GF is to gather all the best practices, all the inspiration from other green movers, and find new solutions which can take us even further. I can tell you that every morning I wake up and sometimes I'm quite depressed about how slow the official negotiations are moving when it comes to the climate field. But each morning I'm also waking up and I encourage about all the green steps which have been made by green business, by green municipalities, by green governments in the whole world. And by gathering all these action people in the green field, by stimulating all of us to take our efforts even further, I'm sure that we can move also the official negotiations and definitely the whole market trend of the world. It's a high ambition, but we are on track, and I feel that for each year there are still more companies, still more countries that realize that going green is not in contradiction to perform economically. No, it's a precondition to perform economically for the future. This is a process that will never end. Basically, the challenge is to change our economies in 20 years, our way of producing, our way of consuming, and that's not something you just fix in one meeting. That's a long process which takes the involvement of both civil society, business communities, and government. And we need to break down the barriers between the regulators and the people who we regulate. We need to have a dialogue about which kind of policy framework does it take for industry to make green progress. And that's exactly what is happening here. We have the dialogue, what does it take, what are the demands from the politicians to the industry and from the industry to the politicians. If we succeed that dialogue, that would be an enormous step forward in the green transition. Each 3GF meeting has its own focus. I think that this year I have been struck about all the efforts put into resource efficiency. In the last century, the whole economic discussion was about how do we ensure productivity when it comes to man-hour? How do we ensure that we can create more and more value per labor hour? This century will be about resource productivity. How can we create more value out of the same or limited resources? And when I'm talking to anyone at this conference, may it be CEOs, prime ministers or other ministers, the focus is very clear. Resource efficiency is the buzzword here, and that's how we have to deal with all our challenges. And that's why we're discussing everything from fossil fuel subsidies into green investments in energy efficiency and so forth. But if you ask me about the new angle here, it would be resource efficiency.